Hey everybody, it's the OMAD Dad. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, a channel that's dedicated to living the OMAD lifestyle or eating just one meal a day. Well, I can't believe from my last video to where we are today, how much has changed, not just in this country, but in the world. I feel that it is historic and significant enough for me to make somewhat of a response and talk to you guys out there to let you know that I definitely plan on keeping this channel going. I don't see myself doing too many videos about the COVID-19, but I wanted to at least do one, check in with everybody and offer a little bit of advice and my opinion on the matter. Because as I just said, this is a very historic event. At no time in my life or even that of my parents have we ever lived through something quite like this. So because of that, times can be pretty scary and it's looking pretty gloomy right now, but I hope that by the end of this video there's at least a little bit of a glimmer of hope out of this. You know, and the response that you've been seeing from around the country has certainly been scary. And that's rightfully so. This is something that's relatively new for pretty much everyone. Not many people were probably alive to live through the last Spanish flu pandemic 100 years ago who could give us much guidance as to what to do. But we have some of the world's best doctors and scientists who are working on this, and I really do believe that when we get out of this, we're going to be in a much better place, not just as a race of people, but just as a planet. One of the reasons this is just so powerful is because of the unknowns of things. China, Italy is just really struggling crazy over there, how horrible it is. My heart goes out to every Italian citizen, everybody around the planet, really. One of the reasons I think that here in America it could be a little bit more difficult or a little more trying than Italy is, we do have a fairly large elderly population here in America, but we also have a large part of the population that have some sort of immune disorder, be it diabetes or cancer or metabolic syndrome, something of that nature, which is just not good for this particular type of virus in the situation that we're in. We're also not testing as aggressively as other countries are, although some celebrities and some sports teams are able to get some tests quite easily. But this is not a political channel, and you can't blame the citizens' response. And by that I mean the empty grocery store shelves, the hoarding, the panicking, because we simply don't know how long this is going to be. Some people are saying that we could be clear in a couple weeks, and some people are saying that it could be an 18-month response that is needed for this. So maybe you're not a sheeple, but other people are, and they could be, and maybe they're going to the store and they're just like with the toilet paper, it's a hot ticket item for some reason, and people are just going crazy and they're just buying what they can. Luckily now some of the stores have limited that as to how much of some of these high ticket items, how much you can buy in one sitting. But the other thing to consider too is we don't seem to think of like how much of our food is dependent upon other countries and how much is imported, and then how much of our food supply that we actually export to other countries. So that's something to think of too. I mean, and then on top of it, you have to think, I live in Massachusetts, where we haven't had an official lockdown yet, but our governor really just today announced that he'd really recommend everybody shelter in place and just not go anywhere that doesn't have to go. But for most people, there's no school, there's no work. Most jobs are shut down. There's not a lot of food available. There's no sports on TV to watch. The casinos, at least in my state, have all shut down. The churches in my area, they've all pretty much shut down. There are some gatherings, but again, my governor is saying, no more than 10 people in a room. No public outings. The dine-in restaurants, those are shut down. It's only takeout. So when you add all of that up, you have people who are in their homes, who are scared, who have nothing much to do, and that's why this. I think the government is responding the way it's responding is, kind of slow and gradual, because they don't want mass panic. To some degree, there already has been. But I want to get to the silver lining on this and kind of tie it into OMAD as well, so that this hopefully can be a positive thing and a beacon of light. I'm looking at this as like there's with a little bit of positivity that I can. It's a deadly virus. People are suffering and they're dying, and that part I don't like. I don't like that it's probably going to crash our economy, at least here in America. And to some degree, it pretty much already has. But I want to give a little my for what it's worth, my few little tips and my advice and how I'm looking at this. So number one, you should prepare, but don't panic. Get yourself some food that you can. What I call the survival foods. In some of my other videos, I usually always stock up on rice and dried beans and pastas. That's why subscribing to one of those other really restrictive diets is kind of worthless in a time like this, because there's no time for being trendy. There's no time for saying, oh well, I'm really trying to be on the keto diet right now because I want to have washboard abs for maybe the time that I can get to the beach this summer. That's kind of all out the window, and it's gone to survival. But those of us who are on OMAD, we're used to that. We're used to making meals out of what's available and what we can use. So that's where we're prepared. So again, get yourself some food what you can. Get a little ahead of, if possible. Have a little bit of cash on hand, and I do have a video about my thoughts on prepping. I'm not much of a prepper or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with trying to weather out the storm and prepare yourself. And this is just basic, simple, common sense advice. And of course, take your regular precautions. Wash your hands. Stay at home. I know there's some states that have pretty much no regulations right now, and other than schools and certain businesses, you could pretty much go wherever you want, do whatever you want. If you're not feeling well, please just stay home. It's not worth it. Clean, but wash your hands, sanitize. This is going to put into perspective as to what's important. In the past week and a half, as I'm slowly starting to see more and more things close down, and I'm doing without in my life, I'm really kind of reassessing things to see just how important it really was. And there's a lot of things I'm noticing that really aren't. Like there's a lot of the restaurants around here, and again, you want to support everybody, you want to help everything out, but like a lot of the fast food places, I'm like, am I really going to miss any of them? Honestly, no, I'm not. What I will miss is those local businesses that are owned by people who are actually there working, and so that's what I'm supporting. The takeout that I'm getting it's helping my local businesses try and stay alive. As a chef coming from the food business, I can tell you this has really put a strain on the food business, and I think once it's done, this is going to change it. But this is going to put into perspective this whole time that we have to ourselves here in our house. It's going to put into perspective what's really important. And that's what I'm taking out of this. For those of us who do OMAD, we're fine with going without. We're used to it. We're used to skipping a meal here and there. Or for some of us that do practice OMAD, 2 meals a day, we're used to skipping and snacks and all of that. So we're going to be okay. We're going to get through this and weather the storm. And for those of us who have been doing this for any length of time, we're going to be the beacon of light and the hope for people and the help for people who are struggling with this, because this is going to be this is survival right here. Depending on how long this goes, like, people will have to adjust their lifestyle. And for those of you out there that have followed me who do this, you're going to be that much further along. You can help and guide other people so that they can make it through this okay. while you still can, just for your own sanity and your health, get yourself out and walk if you're still able to. If it's not possible, walk around your house, make a game of it. Say every 15 minutes, I set a timer, I'm gonna go up and down the stairs. Sometimes what I do is, like instead of doing lunges, I'll walk up and down the stairs, but I'll skip a step so that I'm actually making a deeper climb. I've been doing a lot of yoga stretching, do calisthenics, meditation. This is a really great time for some self introspection and going inside and as I've said, putting into perspective what's really important with you. I'm looking at it, for us, it's like a chance for me to reconnect with my family and my children. We're doing a lot more activities at home. We're cooking at home a lot more because a lot of things are closed, and if anything, this is bringing us a lot closer. Don't listen to the people on social media that downplay this virus or have some sort of healing regimen. Don't buy these magic pills or potions, folks. These people they are dirt bags, and they always come around in a crisis like this. It's junk. Listen to what the CDC says. Listen to what the actual scientists are saying, not some snake oil salesman. And don't listen to the people either that are saying like, oh, this is nothing. Don't be scared. Or you don't want to live your life in fear, but at the same time, this is significant. People are dying. A lot of people are dying of all different age groups. I hear so much of people saying, well, only 3% are dying from it, so I don't care. Well, let's put that into perspective like this. Let's say you have 100 Skittles and 3 of them are deadly, but you don't know which ones they are. It would be best for you to avoid all of the Skittles, okay? Like that it's just common sense. And of course, now is the time for OMAD. If you're on the fence, if you're debating about it, now is the time to hunker down and to further get into your OMAD practice. Why? It will further stretch out your food supplies. You could use this as a way of getting your health in order, helping with inflammation. A lot of the hospitals are overwhelmed. A lot of my doctor, for example, I went to make just a general checkup the other day, and they said they're not even talking to anybody for at least another 30 days. So, I think I'm going to be done with the whole COVID thing. I don't want this to be a depressing video. I don't want it to be political. I just want everybody to be safe. Again, this is going to put into perspective what's important for everybody. This is going to give you some much needed time for those who can take it, even though it's going to, it may hurt in the short term, economically, or, in the sense of some people having trouble getting access to all the food that they need or medical supplies, whatever. There is a silver lining in this cloud, and that's how I'm looking at it. That's how I'm going to be getting through this. And that's how I would urge you as well. There's no time like the present, though, right now, to get into your OMAD practice, really hunker down and use this as an opportunity to have some really great habits for the rest of your life. That's how I'm looking at it. I hope all of you guys are out there doing well. If you need somebody to talk to, email me. Write in the comments below, email me. I know it could be pretty lonely sometimes out there if you're in isolation, if you can't get around, but feel free to shoot me an email, and we'll talk through this. We're all, as a country and as a human race, we are going to get through this, and at the end of this, we are going to become better people. So you have to look at it that way. And I think that's about all I'm going to say about COVID-19. So stay healthy, stay safe, and just be kind, and we will get through this, and do what you can, and enjoy your OMAD and help out your fellow man. That's about all I have for today, folks, and I'll be back very soon with some more OMAD related content, and hopefully this horrible virus will just be all cleared up within my next video. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, and be well.